Adobe Radio, the future of alternative.
We all know that it's called the bionic, the bomb, the puff, the blow, the black, the herb, the sensi, the chronic, the sweet Mary Jane, ganja, spliff, reefer, the bud, the Buddha, the homegrown, the ill, the Maui Maui, the method, pop, lethal, turbo, tie, shake, skunk, stress, wacky, weed, blaze, the boot, dime bag, Scooby-Doo, Bob, bogey, backyard boogie.
Woo!
Yeah!
It's the Golden Beach Show. That's Tias.
And that's Sasha.
And we are live on Adobe Radio International. Borders, countries, they know no bounds for the cool Nerd Weed Show. And we have a fun show for you. Find us everywhere. Cool Nerd Weed Show is the best place to start. We live on Adobe. We were born on Adobe. And you can find us on YouTube as well, on their YouTube and our own, and on the social media. Also, we do our best to do what we can with social media guidelines, and we're pretty okay about it. We were mad. We went through all the stages of grief. Now I think we are okay.
Finally, acceptance.
Yes, acceptance. And whatever happens. So no, we don't post as much. Should we? Should we start posting again? Like what do you think?
Me, or the audience?
No, you. Even you. No.
You.
Do you know who killed Mr. Burns? No.
Yeah, I'm gonna post some more. I do know who killed Mr. Burns.
You do think we should be posting more?
Yeah, I'm trying to. You know what? Our TikToks have been getting a lot more traction
because they're clips of it. They're just really.
Yeah, it's like clips. Our clips are getting. I don't know. It's weird. Like some are getting like mad views, and others are getting like average views.
Do we change our handle, or do we still have weed in the name?
We still have weed in the name.
Yeah. So that's a big, problem for social media. And people have, not Adobe, to Adobe's credit, because they love us and we love them. But people have said, like, you should take weed out of your name. And we've been like, no. We won't do that. Because we are a show about weed. And we are people who love weed. We just so happen to be wildly creative and brilliant and hilarious. And our chemistry is off the charts. And we are in the industry. So we know the front lines of it all. I don't know why I was just pitching the Cool Nerd Weed Show, but if anybody wants to clip that and send it to, nowadays or some shit. But we're working in the industry. That's how we met. You worked in the industry a little bit longer than me, but I think we've probably been smoking weed respectively about the same amount. I didn't start smoking weed till I was in my 20s. You were like about the same, right?
Yes. I think I started a little later in life.
Isn't that funny? Like people who know you now, like people who know you from from your like touring stuff, but certainly people who know you from LA. Like if you were like, I didn't smoke weed until I was like 22. They'd be like, what? You're making up for lost time.
I mean, think about the people that knew me when I was straight edge.
I don't know her. Well, I mean, just from what I know of you, I actually can picture straight edge. Were you annoying about it though? Like, did you have like 3 X's
tattooed on my ribs? No.
Yeah. No offense to anybody who has that. It was an era, but I was always like, okay. They always make me feel bad about.
I don't think I was annoying about it. It was a lifestyle choice.
Well, you're not now.
Made some different lifestyle choices.
Yes, and you both traditionally and legally have worked in the weed industry. Well, all legally. because for
Of
legal
course.
purposes, this is all legal. And you worked at dispensaries, one of the first dispensaries in LA, right?
Yeah, the Higher Path, the original on Sunset Boulevard in Echo Park.
Mm. The Higher Path at Echo Park. And the dispensary industry is it goes through things. It goes through things all the time. So, we'll touch on that today. But I did want to say congratulations to TS for getting a job.
A J-O-B.
Yes, a capital yob. A soft J like in yogging. That is what you got. And it's not like you weren't working. You were working. You're paying your bills. But you always felt there was a point where I was like, stop trying to work at a dispensary. Because dispensaries were going through a weird thing, I feel like, last year where they kind of like didn't. A lot of dispensaries weren't paying their bills. A lot of dispensaries were behind on their taxes. It was kind of a mess out in California, and you can look up any publication or even us talking about how there had to be some sort of renaissance for the dispensaries in California because of everything. It's just top to bottom. And I do feel like maybe things are starting to recover and maybe dispensaries are like, gathering themselves and trying to make it in this crazy world of weed. And it just so happens to coincide with you getting a job. So shout out your dispensary. Do you want to say it publicly?
Yeah.
So everybody who can find you can find you. Do they have an Instagram? That's why I brought this up. Well, also to congratulate you, but I was wondering if they had an Instagram and what they post.
They do. First, I'm super stoked to be at Illa Canna in Jefferson Park.
Can you spell that?
And ILLA Canna CANNA.
Nice. I love it. I don't think I've ever been there.
I don't know how long this place has actually been there. It's probably a little bit newer. They had a shop in the Valley.
Okay.
And then this one. And it's like it's very modern. They have a great selection. It's very like modernized, but not like you don't feel like you're going into the Apple store.
Do you order with iPads or do you talk to a bud tender?
No, it's kind of like a little hybrid. You don't order off of a tablet. You're actually free to walk in and there's product there that you can just grab and go.
What? Like, grab and go?
Yeah, like you can, like all the vapes, all the edibles are out, just free
range.
It's
like that shop by Adobe.
Yeah, exactly. That's like they changed the law so that not everything needed to be locked up or behind a counter.
When did they do that? Man, I'm so out of the game.
We
work in weed. I don't even know the rules.
It was around the time where we went to that shop by Adobe.
Oh,
and we were like,
okay.
we were like, what is this? This is like you're going into CVS and you can just grab a vape, grab an edible. Bud tenders are only there if you need help. The flower and the pre-rolls are locked up. So also we have smell jars too. So if you want to talk about weed, you flag down a bud tender and we will help you we'll grab your smell jars. We'll tell you flavor profiles and effects. And otherwise, we kind of just leave the shopper to shop. And most people just come in, they know what they want. Some people do want to come in because you have to have a little bit of interaction to get the flower and the pre-rolls.
Mm-hmm.
So people that are still shopping for flower will appreciate the fact that they can smell the flower.
Mm-hmm.
So the flower consumers, more of the high end or the middle ground, if you're buying like a cheaper eighth, we do have them for you to sniff, but most people just come in and if they just want a dime bag, they want they want the
They don't want to talk to you.
against
They're
the
like, they know
T-verse.
what they want. Let's just go.
They know what they want. Just get it for me and let's get going.
What a climate.
Yeah.
What a great timeline that we live in, that the evolution of the dispensary has come to, or from rather. Well, I guess I wasn't around during like the early like Prop D and 215 days in California. Was it ever like that? Like any dispensaries, or was it always pretty strictly? Well, I mean,
no.
it was. Yeah, it was all like
I
that. What am I
mean,
saying? Like when
well,
I mean, when I first started going into dispensaries, it was, and that was a couple years before I started working at the
everything
weed.
was like behind the
A lot
counter.
of, yeah, but like I would be able to grab stuff that was like on sale. I mean, it was on the counter. It's not like it was like, but like stuff that I've just grabbed and bought. Like, remember the weed used to have like that sale rack thing, and the edibles too.
Yeah. Yeah, that was kind of unique. I felt like at the weed where you could grab one of the sale eighths. I can't remember what they were called. Like
they were called something. I'm trying to think of it, but they were so good. That's the first thing I ever got from the weed. I got and it's probably been a couple years since I've mentioned it, so I mention it all the time. I got like a cheese strain. I think it was Cheezel. And it was like so cheese heavy, and I've never had anything like it again, except for from the weed. And I don't even know if when I worked there we had it. It was so good, and I feel like it's dead. I've never been able to find it again.
I haven't seen a good cheese strain or a cheese strain that actually smelled like cheese since the weed. It's been a long time.
Knows what we're talking about, or if this is nerd shit, but if you do know where we will travel the world. Like, we will go in our Cool Nerd Weed Show mystery machine and go to a different land and time to find a cheese strain that is like our Everest or Moby Dick or whatever. Yeah, so so Grab and Go is back, baby, and that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool and exciting that we've arrived to this place. I'm glad it's a hybrid and not just. And I know you like the customer bud tender interaction.
I do. When I love the smell of the flower. I was really excited when we went to the HUD house in your neighborhood. Mm-hmm. And they had the smell jars out. You had already pre-ordered, but I made you stay for like another 20 minutes while I smelled everything.
We did walk around and smell like every single one. That's okay. I just find like it doesn't make a difference for me in the smell jars. Back in the day when it was, like the deli style or whatever, like I feel like that was a more accurate representation of what I'm getting. It's just the smell jars are cool, but
yeah, they get old fast and they dry up.
They're
exposed. It's sometimes it might not be the best representation of what you're getting.
But to have the option is nice. To have the option is quite nice. I know you get a nice goodie bag, right?
Oh, I got so many things.
And honestly, I miss a lot of stuff. And that's not even the number one thing I miss about working in the weed industry, but it is in the top 5 because I really do. Ooh, that looks fun.
Yeah, the Fig Farms wrapper weed.
Oh, I want it.
It's delicious.
I want it. I am jealous. I am. I know. Like, I'm like, should I get into the weed industry on the East Coast for the samples? For the plot.
Just tell him you can work 2 days a week. I came in on my second day and there was like a fairly large grocery bag filled to the brim.
Wow.
Like the bag wouldn't close.
That's what's up. There's nothing really better than that.
And there's like a little of everything.
I don't mean to be rude. Respectfully, what's your employee discount?
I get 30% plus medical. So 35% for me.
Well, that's a good little chunky boy. We love the weed industry and we're glad to see it flourishing. I know that sounds crazy. When you've worked in the industry, you've worked with many types of people in the industry. You've worked with earnest people, you've worked with, some snakies. You've worked with people who have genuine hearts and compassion and are in the industry for compassion. And you've worked with people who are a hybrid of those two, like a person who wants to make money but also cares about the culture. So I hope that this is a long and prosperous relationship with this dispensary. They seem to be super fucking cool, and I can't wait to visit you. I say that at every dispensary you work at, and I never go. But I will definitely be going to this one, I promise.
You usually visit on 420.
I always make it to you on 420. I always do. If you're working, then I'm gonna make it to your dispensary. So next year won't be any different. I will, if you're working, I will be there. But also, I will when I'm in LA, I will try to go much more to see you. Support your local bud tender. Because they are very important now in this current day. And back in the day, like oftentimes your local bud tender was the person who was traditionally selling weed or was around it before. So it was usually like, you knew who was going to go on to work at the dispensaries because they were already knowledgeable about selling weed. I wasn't, I just so happened to be not, but I knew a lot of people who were, and I knew a lot of people. I asked, I think I asked the Mowgli's list, like when you grew up around weed, like people who grew up since Prop D was passed pretty much. I was like, was working at a dispensary kind of like getting a job at the mall, or the ice cream shop. You were kind of like, you had your list of things you can choose to do when you turned 18, because you could work there below 21 when it was medical, and like, to make money for school or whatever, like where you just like, okay, I guess I'll go like work at the weed shop or the record shop. You know what I mean? That's what I picture the record shop. The record store, record store that doesn't exist anymore. But a record store was always like a goal of a preteen. You'd always be like, oh, I'm gonna get a cool job at the weed store. So that's what I pictured working at a dispensary was like in California for most people. I mean, for me, it felt like that because I wasn't from there, and I was just like in awe of the acceptance of the flower. But the first time, oh my God, first time I ever bought weed. Do you remember the first time you ever bought weed?
Yes, I do.
Okay. I'm gonna try. You tell your story first.
Okay.
I'm gonna dig in my memory.
I'm gonna do. Okay, so the first time I ever bought weed was actually from my first roommate in Buffalo. And
how old were you? Do you remember?
I was about 21. And then she got it from somebody on the reservation because she was a Native American.
This is in Buffalo.
In Buffalo, yeah.
Your native land as well.
Yes. My home and native land.
Yes, that's what I meant. Okay, so you're home. You're with your roommate, and they were roommates, and you went, and she got some weed, and was like, "I want to try some weed."
Yeah, I was like, oh, I think I want some. I think I want my own bag because I'd smoke a little bit with them here and there. And, it was like dark green. It was pressed. It had a bunch of seeds in it. I had one of the other roommates, Reggie, roll me a joint. He had dreads, so he knew what he was doing.
Yeah, for sure.
And I was smoking up in my room. I lived in the the attic room. It's like an A-frame triangle.
I love it.
Had a little window, and I start smoking, and I'm choking. I'm like,
you were by yourself or you were with your friends?
I was with my friend that got it for me, and I start choking like crazy, and I'm wearing these like was the fashion at the time was these Krishna beads, like wooden beads that were like really tight around my neck, and I started choking, and this like my neck swelled up,
No,
and
no.
it was like she had to get the beads off me. I think we had to cut them off, so they were like just like broke it off of me so I could regain my breathing.
Oh no.
So I don't know if that was some sort of
It was like an
karma.
initiation ritual or something.
Yeah.
The cannabis gods were like, you are ours now. Oh, that's
Pulled
really
the Krishna beads off, and I went to the I got so high. We took a walk to the local playground
Great place to go.
and
for sure.
like sat on the swings for a while and just chilled out.
Love it. That's a great first buying weed story. I'm glad your neck unswelled. I remember the first time I got weed. I must have bought it, but I was in college. So I guess I was 19, which is pretty young. Well, not pretty young, but it was all around me. But again, dare. It's all you really have to say. And I just like, it wasn't my bag, baby. So when I got to college, I actually was living at school, and I had actually taken the spot of a student who was kicked out for smoking weed. That didn't stop me. I just like, as I was doing it, I was like, this is really stupid. But my best homie, which I actually got blamed by his parents for getting him into smoking weed, but he brought it to me. And I think he got it from one of his friends from the Bronx. I had never smoked before. So just want to clear the air. 20 some odd years later, it was not me who got Johan into smoking weed. Okay. Because they found like a little, like, those little silly pipes, the copper ones.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I had one of those.
You could get in
for
every
sure.
Ricky's or every, smoke stop for like $2. That was like in his room. And it was mine, admittedly, but his parents were like, it's probably from Sasha. She looks like she got you into it. And I was like, how dare you? That's one thing I didn't do. So he brought it. I don't know how much it was. It was very, like you said, like pressed and seedy. And we realized we didn't have anything to smoke it with, and we didn't know how to roll a joint like at all. I literally kind of like just learned, like when I started working at the weed, I was not good at rolling joints, and I don't even think I had ever smoked yet. So I really didn't know what the fuck to even do. So I think we wound up, I mean, we couldn't have ground it or anything. I don't even think we knew we were supposed to. So we put it in a cigarette. Like we took one of my other roommates' cigarettes. We like Scooby-Doo tiptoed into the roommate's room. We took a cigarette and we like sliced it kind of like halfway. And then, or maybe like a quarter of the way. And then we stuffed it in there. And we must have rolled it, and then we smoked it, and we were pretty stupid high. Like I remember enjoying it very much, and just like feeling very silly. And then my other roommate came home and like knocked on our door, and she was like, "You guys smoking weed?" And I was like, "No." Like I very poorly lied. Like it was so smoky.
In the air.
Yeah, literally, yes. Like
You're like, oh, no.
I was like,
not at all.
And I was like, that is such a mellow harsher. But from that, I didn't smoke in my room anymore. We wound up, like, we were a little bit smarter. But yeah, that's the last thing I remember. And it was New York. I went to Fordham University. Can't get me now. It's statute of limitations or something. Don't take away my degree. But we were in the city, so we just went to like the Greek restaurant down the block and ate hella fries, like like mad fries. And then like I remember being like I like this. And, you know, that was the beginning of a beautiful relationship. And I did, you know, it wasn't until I got to LA that well, maybe towards like the end of my time here in my 20s, it was kind of being more accepted. But it was still really weird. I was always by myself smoking outside and stuff. So my evolution goes from just like trying to find somebody who would come and deliver it to me. You know, in the beginning days, you get weed from everywhere. Like that block, I went and bought weed, and then I went to that parking lot. You know, like it's just when you buy weed traditionally, you get it from all sorts of different places. But when I got to California, my first dispensary was, I always forget the name of it. You know, the one that was under the overpass, like by the 10. You know which one?
Oh,
It's like on the way to Culver City.
oh
Does that make
yeah,
sense?
by the Del Taco.
Yes. By the Del Taco, exactly. I would hit up that Del Taco. That was the first dispensary I ever went to in LA, and I got a very beautiful bud tender who gave me Alaskan Thunderfuck, and she was like super hot and very, very sweet. I found out she was like fired, like almost like like I came back and I was like, oh, and they were like, yeah, she hopes she, you know, it was like that was just the vibe, you know, the vibe was like free and like no inhibitions. You can smoke weed and just be yourself. And that's the vibe that was my evolution. And then I wanted to be a part of it. So that's why I started working at it. And you could even see the evolution of it then too, you know. It was never prepackaged, I guess. And when it was, that was like
Yeah,
weird.
we kind of went from getting in the traditional market from a friend or a neighbor or wherever you got it. Like at one point when I was in New York City, like one of the homies actually went to the park, into like Washington Square.
I've gone into almost all the parks in
All
New
the
York
park,
City to
any
get my
park,
weed.
pick a park,
I've been in Central, definitely Washington Square.
and Tompkins Square, and then we would
Tompkins Square, forget it.
like
I think I
literally
sold weed out of Tompkins Square. I never sold weed, but if I did, it would have been out of Tompkins Square.
the homie bought like a literal dime bag that cost
yeah.
$10.
Dime bags, that was like what you did traditionally out here on the East Coast. We had nickel bags.
And
She,
yeah, we
that's called buying from your
nickel
homie who
bag.
just like picked up an ounce. That's called you just made your homie the plug because you just bought $5 off of her ounce. We're there. Not like I'm speaking from an experience.
And you know, we'd roll it up. Like I think he rolled everything, like the sticks and the stems. He's like,
oh yeah,
"No,
we didn't take that stuff out.
If we break it up, there's going to be nothing left."
Mm-hmm. No, we kept those
So,
sticks in. They added color and flavor.
Rolled it in a blunt, smoked it in the park, drank a little brass monkey. It's a vibe.
It sure was. It sure was a vibe. It was a great time then, and it is a great time now. I think especially when like boomers go to a dispensary, I think that's like really sweet because a lot of boomers grew up very like scared of weed. So whenever, that's what I used to love a lot about working at the weed was how not only has the evolution of like how you get weed changed so much, the evolution of the consumer who's outwardly consuming cannabis and still will just always is nice to see. You know, you'll obviously like see people our age, you'll see people younger than us, obviously, but then you'll see people in their, you know, 60s, 70s, 80s, of all walks of life coming in and getting their meds. And that always was really nice to see, you know. You'd always hear your plug tell the story about like the grandma who they deliver to on the Upper West Side or something. But it is nice when like somebody can bring their mom or go. I mean, I still love that I could go to the dispensary with my mom. I think that's crazy. Talk about evolution from being like, from her hiding it from us when we were younger, and me hiding it from them when I was older, and then coming to me working there. And it's still in the beginning when I was working there, it was very, very like taboo out here. And she almost was like afraid. She worked in the school system and she was like, I'm going to get fired. And I was like, you're not, it's fine. The SWAT team is going to show up. Like, it's actually legal.
You know, it went from like traditional to get your medical rec and go into a dispensary. And that's when, you know, that was the sort of change that you're talking about. Even my family came out, and when it wasn't legal, it was legal medically, but it wasn't as widespread as it is now. So they were afraid too to come in to the dispensary. You know, I was like, you guys can come in, I'll show you around. And you know, I think mom was visibly nervous. Dad was very curious, asked a lot of questions. But you know, now that it's like legal almost everywhere, and it's been a long time and we've had many open discussions, like we've had, like, I haven't seshed with my parents, but we have seshed with somebody's parent.
One half of the nerds. No, I think my mom is she's more chill now. She's retired. She's even offered to come on the show. But that is, talk about evolution. Like, she used to be very, very nervous. And she'll tell you, well, I was so nervous, I thought I was going to get arrested. And like, she grew up in an era where heavy drugs were places. So she didn't associate weed with that, but there certainly was a lot of people getting in trouble because of drugs when she was growing up and when I was growing up, obviously. So she didn't want any part of that mess. And I understand that too. And I think it's also just like, you know, it's just reason for the season. I think my dad was getting drug tested and stuff, and she was like not trying to be a dick and smoke weed, you know. And my dad he liked weed too, but I told you when he retired, which I guess is like 15 years ago, maybe 10. Yeah, 15 years ago, he had me roll a joint. I'm just like, whatever. I was getting in Brooklyn at the time, and he wanted to go out on a snow day and take a walk in the park and smoke a joint. And he took he's like, I still have the joint somewhere. It's in my freezer. Because it knocked him on his ass.
That's amazing.
So I don't know what the percentage is. Another evolution, we'll go to break in a second, but another evolution is the quality of weed, as we know. That's the last kind of step in this. It's the buying weed, clientele, and the caliber or punch packing of weed. It certainly is different. There's no denying that. It's not your parents' weed. It's not our weed. It's even more than that. So I would take that into consideration. Even when you get a low THC. I saw this clip of, I think it was Pete Davidson. I don't know what he was on, but he was talking about THC percentage and how like back in the day it was like 8%. And now, you know, sometimes you'll just get regular flour that's like 40 something percent. Like that is very much higher than what it used to be. So that is also an interesting evolution.
This is 33%, 38 total cannabinoids that I'm smoking
and, you know,
right now.
There is proof that, you know, we are able to adapt, but it is worth thinking about how things just got stronger and stronger as the years went on, and as the way to consume it went on, we rapidly figured out what would do the most. So just something to think about. But we are going to take a break. When we come back, every time TS gets a new job, we do dispensary etiquette.
I have some things to say about dispensary etiquette.
So we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Sit down. Light one up. Pack a bowl. The nerds have opinions.
Grab your greens.
And sesh with the Cool Nerd Weed Show on Adobe Radio.
And we're back.
We're back.
It's the Cool Nerd Weed Show. That's Diaz.
And that's Sasha.
And I played the Nerds Have Opinions drop, but we do want to make clear that these are facts. I was joking before the break that every time TS gets a new job, we go over dispensary etiquette. But it is important. It's very importante to know dispensary etiquette, regardless. I am in Barcelona right now, and I haven't attempted to go to a weed shop yet, but I'm going to because it's decriminalized here. I know because of my dispensary etiquette, I'm probably going to need cash. Maybe not, but I know I'm probably going to. I know that I'm going to need a form of ID because here and everywhere that I've ever been to buying weed, I've needed a form of ID. I know that I'm either going to talk to a person or talk to a computer and then go to another spot and get my weed. I know there's going to be some form of that. And I also know to be respectful, to mostly keep my hands to myself and kind of see what sort of rules I have to follow. Like back in the day, you couldn't say, "Can I please buy some weed from you?" because it was not legal to be selling weed recreationally that way. So you would make a donation to purchase medicine at a dispensary. And that's something that the customer also had to know. It's not like that anymore, but you know what I'm saying. It's like that in Barcelona. So there's etiquette to going to a dispensary, no matter what era we're in. And Jess would like to go over it with you. Now, you'll see like on cannabis influencers, especially people who work at dispensaries, like the Custy and stuff like that. And we like to joke, this is just to make it easier for you when you go to a dispensary. We actually we've seen it all, so you can't shock us or make us we've seen it all. So we love I still refer to them as patients. We love our patients. We love the members. This is all just to make it easier for you. Right.
Yeah.
Jess is like,
this is for you.
This is so I can
and me. All of us together, because we're all in this together.
Mm-hmm,
this is for all of us, but mostly you out there. You.
And
all of
you.
And you.
So,
So
step one, or whatever, you are number one.
First thing, always have a valid ID ready. Sasha has made this abundantly clear
All the time.
and it should be clear. Please bring a valid ID. Number one, step one.
You didn't leave it in the car. You didn't leave it in your hotel. You didn't leave it in the fucking theme park you were just at. You cannot get in, mostly, I don't think, anywhere without a valid ID. And you cannot have a photocopy of this ID. It needs to be your ID, my dude. Your passaporte, your real ID. People would bring me birth certificates. And I was like, I don't think I could take this. I don't think I can.
Your birth certificate doesn't have a picture on it.
No, it doesn't have a picture on it. I remember calling back and being like, what do I do here? Yeah, it's not the DMV. It's you're coming to purchase something that not everybody gets to. So bring your freaking ID. For Christ's sake.
So have cash. Bring cash. You will avoid ATM fees, whatever ATM workaround fee that we have, additional fees because our ATMs don't work with your bank account. I advise you to bring cash.
Yeah, I'm a real pain in the ass about that too. Even though I've worked at many weed establishment where cash only was the way to go, I never have cash anymore. So I be paying those fees. And there are some some dispensaries really go for it with the fees. I know, and you can thank your government for not passing the Banking Act and shit, and us not being able to use banks or connect to them or use the credit card system because of banks. So, write your fucking local Congress member or whatever. But that's really why cash. I mean, my mom's really good about it. She always goes to the bank before the dispensary. I'm like, and they have like the online places. Sometimes you can connect your bank with these fun third-party apps that fuck up actually a lot, but there's like the option to do it if you want to sometimes, and that's usually what I do. But please think about bringing cash. If you are going to a place and you are relying on them to have an ATM, please do not get mad at them when that ATM doesn't work. There are
Out
other
of
places
cash.
to go.
Yeah, please don't get mad when the ATM's out of cash. Number two, sometimes the internet doesn't work and the debit workaround system doesn't work. Not our fault.
Mm-mm.
If you had cash, this would not be an issue.
Mm-hmm,
Okay. All right, take a deep breath.
mm-hmm.
Moving
Yeah.
right along.
Yeah.
Please wait patiently. Dispensaries are
Mm.
busy. We are busy all the time.
Mhm.
Cannabis is wildly popular.
It is.
So
It
please wait your turn. This one, there's these next three really important.
Okay, rattle them off. 1, 2, 3.
Interact respectfully with your bud tender.
Mm.
Bud tenders are there to guide you, not to rush you or haggle with price. You know,
They don't get
be
anything
honest
from
with
it.
your experience. Yeah.
Mostly. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what each dispensary does for incentives, but like a bud tender for the most part wants to be there. Now, I know what it's like to be a customer and to feel like you are with someone who is a little, maybe let's say they maybe have residual highness from the night before because you can't smoke on the job. We all know that. But let's say that they are just a little, not as fast as you'd like them to go. I will tell you one thing. I mean, about my experience, and a good dispensary will always be professional. If they can't figure it out, the person who's helping you because of an impairment of any kind, technological or from maybe, just too many years of smoking weed, then you will always find somebody who will be able to help you. So don't get mad. I understand. I do. Being in the front desk of a dispensary, you truly see the deepest, darkest pits of despair of humanity in all ways. And you kind of have to just pretend that it's not as bad as it actually is. So we know what you're going through. And a lot of times you're there because you need to smoke weed. And we understand you got places to go. But just, don't be rude. Please. As much as you can.
The next two, put your fucking phone away.
Oh.
Put your phone away. Put it in your pocket.
Yeah.
Sure, you can take some pictures if you want in today's world.
That used to be like an official rule.
Oh, yeah. No phones allowed. Everybody wants to take pictures now. And if you're from out of town, totally cool. You don't have a full-on conversation
Don't
when
live
I'm
stream.
trying to with somebody else. When we're trying to help you.
And that's just, you'll see that in a nail salon. You know what I mean? That's just common. I think we should all be following that rule. Okay, what's the next one?
Don't touch the flower samples. Don't finger bang the buds when I give you a smell jar.
Yeah, don't do that. Please don't do
I
that.
give you a smell jar and you stick your finger in it.
Poor form.
Rude.
Yeah.
Rude.
Yeah, major poor form. Don't like that at all. Do not do that. Jeez Louise. What's the next one? We got 2 minutes.
This is, follow the rules and always tip your bud tender.
Always tip your bud tender. Always tip your bud tender. Tips are often what keep food on the table. I know tips made a huge difference for me. So I'm an over tipper. So you don't have to tell me twice. But if you don't have cash and you're paying with card, they often give you the opportunity to tip, but this is another reason why you should always have a little bit of cash just so you can drop a few bucks. Doesn't have to be all that much. It could be your change, bruv. That's the difference between like being a bartender or a waitress and being a bud tender is luckily, you know, with how things are, we do get paid a wage that, I mean, it's not by any means like $1 million, but it is at best minimum. Unlike a waitress who would make less than that in the state of New Jersey, and you don't have to necessarily leave like 20%. I do. When I that's what I give bud tenders. But you were like, stop it. Whatever you give them is good. And like, if you're feeling generous that day, be generous, but give what you can.
We love to see the pink-haired girl coming through and serving when we see Sasha coming, because you order big and you tip fat, which is, when somebody has like a crazy order, like hundreds of dollars and tips 20%.
Yeah, and then they get like 50 cents like from it. Yeah, because you're doing your job. You're pulling weed. You're giving me a service that like I'm not doing. So like I do believe that deserves to be rewarded monetarily. I also know what it feels like in both places, like in customer service, in the service industry. Because when it comes down to it, bud tenders we are in the service industry. That's what it is. So if you would tip a waiter, you would tip your bud tender. Are there any more?
That's it.
That's it. Dispensary etiquette. 1, 2, 3. This was, I mean, we've spent entire shows on this, so I'm actually pretty proud of us that we did a little 1, 2, 3 version of the updated dispensary etiquettes. We're gonna take a quick break, and then we're gonna come back and do something fun. I'm a little nervous. We'll be right back.
The final Huff and Puff with TS and Sasha.
And we're back.
We're back.
That's yes.
And that's Sasha.
If you ever want to know why I'm laughing, just watch our YouTube. TS makes me laugh a lot. We are back with a fun little ending to the show. So tell me about what you're holding up.
I have an informative brochure from a pamphlet from the Auto Club of America, and this was in the waiting area, the lounge of the dispensary that I'm currently working at, and I've seen this around as well. It's marijuana and driving. From the
AAA, driving and being high. Is that what it says on the bottom there?
The dangers of driving high.
Ah, the dangers. So dangerous. Okay, you're going to give me a little quiz. And I'm going to answer it to the best of my abilities.
All right, Sasha.
Uh-huh.
What do you know about marijuana and driving?
Well, I know that legally, I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to do it. And I would advise officially for people not to do it. That is what I know that people want me to know about. Are you asking real nerd Sasha? Or are you asking Sasha just got pulled over, Sasha?
This is just a test. I've got 5 questions that will actually test your knowledge of what you know about marijuana and driving.
I know everything.
Right. And these are true or false questions.
Ooh, I love it. Easy. I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Do it.
Number 1.
Yeah.
Low doses of marijuana can affect driving abilities. True or false?
True. Do you have a ding?
Yes. That is ding, ding, ding.
I'll find a ding.
That is correct, Sasha.
Great.
Even low doses of marijuana can affect the brain's judgment and function.
Awesome.
Okay. Yeah, perfect. Number 2. Convictions for driving after using marijuana have increased over the past few years.
False.
Unfortunately, that is true.
What? Where?
Let's see. The number of
The number.
Unfortunately, the number of green DUIs has increased by approximately 47%
But how is that measured?
from 2007 to 2013. How is that measured? That's a good question.
How are you testing for that AAA? I know this
well-
isn't part of the quiz, but I have a little sidebar.
You know, it is. It's questionable. The tests are questionable. They can test urine, blood, saliva, and I was reading a new one today. They can test your sweat. And basically, I'm not a doctor or lawyer, but none of these are actually accurate when it involves driving impairment.
Wow, that's a weird. That's why I got it wrong, because that's a made up thing. So what's next?
Let's see. Number 3. Some people drive better when high on marijuana.
I mean, I'm gonna say false because I know that's what you want me to say, but my heart is saying true. So
Yes, our hearts are in the right place, but the answer is false. Although
Yeah,
it might
great.
seem that way to some users, like ourselves, even low doses reduce one's driving abilities. Drivers who are high are unable to accurately assess their own performance. This is
Okay.
according to AAA, and we
Mhm.
have opinions. We are the contrarian opinions to this.
Yeah, just different experiences, I suppose. What's the next question?
Number 4, a driver could be charged with a DUI or a DWI for driving after consuming marijuana.
True.
This is true. States DWI and DUI laws apply. They apply to any drug, not just alcohol.
Yeah, so keep that in mind when you're driving and you don't know what the probable cause laws are in your car. Just know that you have rights. Just know your rights. That's what this is really solidifying for me, and it should be solidifying for you. So you can get a DUI for whatever. So what's the last one?
The last one, the effects of marijuana wear off after 1 hour.
I mean, I guess false, but they don't know me.
You don't know me. That is correct, Sasha. False. Major impairment can last up to 5 hours.
God damn it. 5 hours. Wow. You bunch of lightweight nerds. Just kidding. I'm sure that I can. It can last, a ton of time.
As they say, as you said as well, marijuana affects everyone differently, making it difficult to estimate the effects or predict when the effects wear off. So, know your body, know your rights.
Know your rights. Yes, know your body, know your rights. That is a very good way to end it. I passed that test because I am so smart and good, and I know the rules, but that's really just to say that you should know the rules too when you're driving. That is not an endorsement of whether we like them or not. I think you know what the nerds would say. If you don't, we could talk on a Discord or something, but officially, those are the rules, and you should be able to pass that with flying colors too. And congratulations to TS for his new job, and go support your local bud tender. And
don't panic.
It's organic. Did I get you? Did I?
Almost.
Give it up for Adobe, everybody.